Eugenio De Medio.
Something about me. In addition to personal photos, the images in this video show an overview of works realized in various periods since my youth. In other videos on YouTube and Instagram channels, there are specific videos on my artist statement and the various fields of work such as one-off works, divided into cycles, polyptychs, multiples, design, and so on. I am an Italian creative. My artistic research is based on my capacity for introspective analysis, a critical perspective, and the desire to constantly develop personally in various aspects, resulting from my childhood marked by many trials. I started drawing as a child. The blank sheet of paper was the interval of freedom in which I could take refuge and escape from pain and the sense of isolation. Those sheets of paper were the space where I could fly without chains, without, above all, those constructed by my mind in order to remain bound to life. However, the buzzing of the pencil on the paper was unbearable for me. I had to stop often because it seemed to me to be that of my brain endlessly mulling over my affairs. Finally, I discovered pastels, which, being fatter, didn't bother me, so I switched to making quick sketches and then using colors, then watercolors, oils, etc., to give shape to what was going through my head. This creative mode, based more on color, on surfaces than on tracing, has, in the end, marked my expression through images. I almost never represented some reality in my small world that I found hostile. Rather, I created a new universe within myself. When it happened that, inevitably, something seemed to me to be recognized by others as related to my experience, I would tear up the paper without doubt or remorse. As a teenager, having been prevented from pursuing regular art studies, I began reading classic art history books, such as Vasari's La Vite, Senini's A Libro dell'Arte, etc., and experimenting with various painting techniques, color formation primer, incarnatura, and so on, alongside anatomy. In addition, I then had the opportunity to read from the life works of the great artists exhibited in various galleries and museums in Europe and the United States. These have been years of slow preparation, and gradually I became convinced that material and technique are a solid basis for being free to create and for maturing in every respect, even if it is necessary to overcome academicism. My modus operandi in art has developed in parallel with my personal growth. For example, spending time in border areas during my youth was an important experience for me. There, I learned that each area of doing or knowledge can be considered, expressed, or interpreted in different ways, and that these areas can blend and enrich each other. This awareness has led me to pursue numerous interests in art, design, architecture, etc., and to discover that one or the other expression is deepened and enriched by the knowledge of others, even in areas apparently not strictly related to art making, such as cooking and love of nature. Similar to brainstorming sessions, where people with different experiences have the opportunity to find more innovative and creative solutions to a given problem than that specialist in that specific field. This can similarly occur in a single mind if, indeed, it is not enclosed within the confines of a single sphere. Ceramics have also been great teachers of life. Learning at a young age to use the lathe for forming, I realized how much it is necessary to know how to balance the forces to achieve what you want. Too strong pressure inward brings back to the original block shapeless. An exaggerated outward makes you lose control, and everything goes hopelessly away. In life, there is a similar dynamic balance of forces and available tools that enables us to construct as much as we desire. I became an architect at 23, then I graduated in Conservation of Cultural Heritage at the ICROM, International Center of Conservation in Rome, deepening studies on art and culture of the Renaissance in various international institutes, such as the Accademia Nazionale dei Lincei, the University of Siena, the Andrea Palladio International Study Center, the Cini Foundation, etc., and have entered the role of architect at the Ministry for Cultural Heritage. After obtaining a postgraduate degree in fashion design, I worked as a freelance industrial designer for many companies, particularly in the goldsmith sector, in Italy and abroad, while never allowing myself to stop painting. My work on personal growth coincided with the development of the pictorial technique that I mainly use. My active participation, at 25 years old, in a campaign of archaeological excavation in the Roman Forum has allowed me to consider life more deeply in light of the fact that what appears on the surface is a result of how deep it is, and this is true for the archaeological strata, for the human soul, and, in general, for every event and thing. This vision has been gradually developed in my painting through the use of superimposing layers of color, whether they are material or transparent, and then removing parts of them using spatulas. The conception and use of this technique have led to the coinage of a neologism calling me an archaeologist. My artworks are groupable into several painting series that can be defined by subject, techniques and periods. In general, however, both the figurative and abstract works, with additional in-depth studies, follow the common thread of research into archetypes, be they characters or iconic objects, symbols, lemmas, etc., often in connection with each other. The technique of discovering the underlying layers was used by me in different manners, progressing by cycles and subjects of interest. At first, in early searches for iconic objects, the various layers were covered and then scratched off the upper ones. Later on, I used another type of spatula to remove small surfaces that I used for nature-inspired subjects. I later deepened my research on the headwords. And, finally, on the archetypal symbols that then represented my main line of research. At times, the symbols are combined with other archetypal elements such as iconic characters or objects, labyrinths, etc., each developed in pictorial cycles. Archetypal symbols have also been used in design projects, textiles, and sculptures. The collection of the archetypes is currently expanding into a new strand of experimentation in which the symbols relate to non-two-dimensional surfaces, involving not only the background space, the pictorial space, and the observer space, but also light and time, thus linking up with the model that in physics studies is referred to as the chronotope, i.e., four-dimensional space-time. Recently I developed research on conceptual works by creating artists' books for an itinerant exhibition, started in 2024, at the 18th century Biblioteca Maricelliana in Florence. In Italy, several other European countries, United States, and Japan, artworks of different types have been displayed in galleries, museums, public buildings, and trade fair spaces and are also part of public and private collections. In 2024, the fruit of my research on archetypes was studied at the Academy of Fine Arts in Rome.